Hello, lovies. It's your Auntie Lisa, the cool aunt, the non-judgmental aunt, the aunt you can tell anything to. Now, I've learned some life lessons, some of them the hard way. Let's find out what life lessons we have today with Auntie Lisa's Life Lessons. Hello, my lovies. How are you? It's so good to see you again. Come on in, have a seat. Let's get comfy so that we can talk. Because that's what your Auntie Lisa's here to do. Give you a little bit of the life lessons that I've learned and talk. If there's one thing I can do, it's talk, huh? So, today's life lesson is a hard one that a lot of people need to learn. But I don't know how to teach it. I don't know how to learn it, so I don't know how to teach it. The life lesson is that moods are contagious, okay? If you're in a happy, great mood and you're smiling and you're laughing with everybody and you're just joyous, that joy can be contagious. It can spread to the entire room, to the entire family. And that's what I'm all about, is spreading the joy to the family, right? If you're in a piss poor mood and are Eeyoreing it all over the place, and if you don't know what I mean by Eeyoreing it, check out Winnie the Pooh. There's a character named Eeyore. Eeyore is always depressed. Now, Pooh and Roo and Piglet, they all love Eeyore just the same. But Eeyore is always depressed. And if you're one of these that never has a kind word to say, always has the Debbie Downers, to use a 90s reference, Debbie Downer, everything good that's said, she's got something negative to say back. Somebody says something like, this meal is delicious. I never knew Ethiopian food could be so good. Yeah, but they're starving in Ethiopia. Wah, wah. That's a Debbie Downer, okay? But if you know somebody who's not depressed, because I suffer from depression, but whose mood is always negative, there comes a time when you can't do anything positive yourself, because moods are contagious. And I said this to my husband recently. He was in one of those foul moods. I mean, just a foul mood. And I'm like, dude. I said, dude, your mood's contagious. Because I was trying to tell him that he was bringing me down a little bit. And he looked at me and he said, and I quote, I know, and I need you to do something about that. Which leads me to the life lesson. You are not responsible for everyone's moods. Let me repeat that. You are not responsible for everyone's moods. The only person you're responsible for the mood of is you. And I say that because a lot of us are empathic. What's an empathic person? An empathic person who is someone who feels the energies and the emotions of the people around them quite clearly. I am empathic, and it's not an easy thing. My best friend is really empathic, to the point that he almost has to stay away from people because they drain his energy so much. So, the only person's mood you are responsible for is your mood. If the people around you are in a bad mood, you can try to cheer them up. And that's all, noble and a valid activity. But if it doesn't work, don't let that affect you. Don't let it bring you down. Because the only mood you're responsible for is your own. Hard, isn't it? That's one of those lessons that I find really hard. I mean, because I think I'm responsible for everyone's mood in this house. When my husband is having a down day, it's my fault. I'm not bringing him up. I need to boost his mood. My son is a cranky pants a lot. Is that my fault that he's 20 years old and can be surly like a 12-year-old teenage boy? No, that's not my fault. That's just how it is. We have a housemate who can really be negative sometimes. That is not my fault. I am not responsible for someone else's mood. The only mood I'm responsible for is my own. So when they start bringing me down because moods are contagious, I need to do something that fills me up and brings me joy and brings my mood back up. What am I going to do? Well, it could be one of any of my hobbies. It could be just looking at my spider friends. Yes, I have spider friends, but we'll talk about that some other time. It could be petting my cat. Whatever it does to elevate the mood, that is what I should do, because I'm responsible for my own mood and only my own mood. Now, as I said, this isn't an easy lesson. And even though the description of it might be fast, the learning of it is never fast. Because you're not responsible for how other people feel, no matter what. And that's really hard for those of us who are empathic to remember. So we feel responsible. We're not. The only mood you're responsible for is your mood. Now, you can try, as I said. It's always a noble thing to try to cheer someone up. But if they're determined not to be cheered up, you're not responsible for that. So that's our little life lesson today. Short, sweet, to the point. There it is. Now, I would love for you to share my podcast with your friends. Share it with your family. Maybe it'll help bring their mood up. Who knows? Like, subscribe, do all those things that you do with videos and podcasts. And know that next week I'll be back with yet another life lesson. I cannot wait to see you. Until then, remember our mantra: be bold, be brave, be unstoppable. And I love you just the way you are. Bye.